People always say spring is for new beginnings. But if that's true, why does my heart feel like it's waiting for someone in the past? Grandmother always said trains carry wishes that are too shy to become words. She also said never to throw away tiny pieces, which felt less poetic. I came to this station every spring because of this note. What could it mean? I practiced this moment 100 times. I thought I would be brave. I thought I would smile first. But now that the train is here, I can barely breathe. Maybe it's Father returning with the smell of rain on his coat. Maybe it's my sister laughing like nothing's ever changed. Or maybe it is the person I've never had the courage to say goodbye to. Maybe some promises are only meant to guide us this far. You're here. This is when I realized spring did not bring back the past. It brought me the courage to face it. We got a really pretty one here, the Sakura Densya. It basically means cherry blossom train, or electric train, direct translation. So we're making a train station with cherry blossoms. So let's open this one up. This one's too pretty. This one's packaged a little bit different than it usually is. Of course, they got the flat pack. And then we got this kind of little holes. There's not a whole lot of packaging. There is glue. I have been using that glue. It's not bad, not bad. And there's a little bit of lighting here. I think there's only one, maybe two lights. We got screws, which, wonder what that's going to be. And then that's about it on our bags of stuff. So it's all flat pack stuff. And I noticed another thing, this is not in color, so it's a little bit tough to see instruction-wise. If you're used to the full color instructions, this is not it. It's all in black and white. It's not too bad, but it's very technical, I would say. For this little book nook, we're going to do it right in order. Sometimes I skip around on past projects, but this one, I would do it in order. A lot of the book nooks I would do that way. There's usually a reason. Like the unicorn one that we just did, you have to do it in the layers that they say. Otherwise, it won't work out and you'll get mad. So, they provide glue. And I will, on this one, with all our glues, if you open it up immediately and you're going, oh no, it doesn't work. It's probably got a plug. So this particular one has where you puncture it with a needle. Sometimes they have ones where you take the lid off and you have to pull the plastic piece off. So make sure you check that before you give up on the glue. And this glue wasn't too bad. It's kind of in between a clear alcohol glue and a white glue. Something in between. I don't know what it is, but it worked. You don't need anything too terribly tough for this kit. And we're just making window shutters here. I will say that this one, as far as instructions, are a little bit tricky. And I think I said it before, it is a little more technical. So you really have to study the diagrams and figure out. If you've ever built, like a model airplane or something like that, that's more how the instructions are for this one. And we're just building a little sign you kind of have to peek ahead to see what you're building. For me, I'm a very visual person, which I appreciate that there's not a whole lot of text telling me what to do. I like the pictures personally better. If you're a text person, this is probably going to be a little tricky. When it has the little flower on there, it means that's the picture or printed side. So that's the side you want up. And then when it has a square with a blank, that means the blank side. Once you figure it out, and I know why they do it this way, it's because then it translates over any language that you could possibly speak. You'll figure it out. You don't have to be Japanese, Chinese, anything, English. It doesn't matter. If you can read diagrams, you're good. Now this is a Japanese little train station, and there will be Japanese writing, which is totally fine by me because I love anything Japanese. If you're concerned about if your signs are right side up or upside down or anything, well, this one not so much. This one only goes one way, but you can go by the pictures. Then you know that you're not putting it upside down. Next little piece. This is a little air conditioning unit that if you ever look at the city in Japan, every single unit has one of these because it gets hot and humid sometimes. Sometimes. The only tip I can make with these is, or give you, is just pay attention to it. Take your time. They try their best and they do really well with showing you which direction things should go. And sometimes once you put it together, it's the only way it will go. Like that piece right there. And there you go. You got a little AC. On to the next. Okay, for all these little trees, they do them in kind of a pop-up book fashion. You know, they're very layered. And a lot of them, they do put kind of marks of where things go. This one's easy. It's just the back side of the tree. So we'll just do that. This part for me, for some reason, it broke my brain. So there's two pieces like here, and you can see that it's printed on one side and it's not on the other. But somehow you're supposed to put this piece onto there. And there is a little bit of an outline of where the branch kind of goes. You can see there, so you can fit it. It is a puzzle, so you just kind of put it together. So I will say, put it together however it fits, but make sure that little notch at the end, because that's going to go into another piece, is free of things there. So just put your little cherry blossoms on there, one on each side. Kind of tilt it a little bit so you can see all the blossoms, and you'll be good. Mine is a little off of the mark, but that's what looked right to me. So it kind of goes towards the back and you won't see where my thumb is, but there you go. I don't think there's a really wrong way to do it. More cherry blossoms. It is a cherry blossom train station, so. Alright, we know what this is. It's the train crossing, right? So this one, we are going to sandwich the two pieces together here. And then put all of our signs in place, just where they marked it. Ta-da! We've got a train crossing. We're gonna set that. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this glue is it does not dry quickly from what we're used to with the glues that we like. But so we just make sure you set it aside and just let it dry before you touch it again. We got some more trees to make. This is what makes it really pretty. I will say, full honesty, this wasn't the funnest one to make, but it is the prettiest one. I really like the end result. It's worth all the work. But for, I don't know, maybe I I prefer the full color instructions, even if they're not super clear on some of those color instructions. I think I like them better. This one is a lot like, if you haven't watched it, my train station, the time travel train station, it's pretty much the same black and white instructions. So if you like that, the train station, which does turn out really cool too, you want something a little more difficult, a little more technical, these Rolife booknooks are right up your alley. And this tree gets the pink effect too. I think on this one, this particular kit, placing these little pink flowers was the hardest for me, which is funny because there's some harder parts later on. But for some reason, these little flowers just, they baffled my brain. I think I just need a straight, they go here kind of thing. Which they do, but they don't, kinda. More little flowers. It does get a little easier as you go because you kind of figure out what they want. It's true with all the kits. The very first thing that you make is always the trickiest because you're learning their way of doing things. Every maker does it a little bit different, and every kit is a little bit different. But once you figure out what they're trying to tell you, especially with just picture diagrams, you're basically learning their language every time, is the best way I can put it. You're learning hieroglyphics. And once you figure it out, you'll have a big old light bulb and you'll just go to town. We're only on step 7, and I think we're starting to figure this out. See? We built a tree. You know what I think the hard part is I don't know where it's going to go. So I don't know how to plan for how it's made to where it's going to go. That's what I think is tricky for me. But let's build a train since it is a train station. Make sure when you have these plastic pieces, you double check to see if there's film on them. And this one does. Just go right in the corner and peel it up. There we go. Easy enough. Just try to line it up on the edge. They are very good at telling you don't overlap, you put it to the edge. So, good little clues there. Okay, now we're going to build the base of our train. We only see the front end of the train, so that's all we're building. not the whole train. Thank goodness, right? But we're just going to do kind of the wheelbase at the bottom. And you have to have little steps that go up to the train. How else are you going to get in there, right? This is kind of a older train, like a trolley. Or a monorail kind of thing. All right, we gotta have people in there. I almost considered painting this. Almost. But then I thought, I kind of like the monotone. The end result is very pretty. It's very pastel, and I liked it a lot. And now we're going to start building the train around him. First you sit down, and then they build the train around you. So anything that has that the zigzag cuts, that's where it's going to bend. And these did fit nice and tight. If anything's loose, by all means, glue it in. It's starting to look like something. Right now it just looks like a little diner cafe, but let's make it more train-like. So we have a few little details. If it's jagged for you, they do provide a piece of sandpaper, so make sure you sand those little jagged edges off. And then we're just going to glue it right where it tells you to. Alright, we gotta put our little sign on. Again, if you're not sure which direction it goes, just look at the picture. Anybody know how to translate these? I tried to do the Google Translate and it wouldn't do it for me. So I'd be curious. I'm thinking this is a train number kind of thing. Let's keep on building. We got the front bumper here. It's going to look more and more like a train now. I like this bendy stuff. It's kind of fun to work with. You gotta have lights. You gotta see where you're going. Even though you have a track, you still have to see if you're gonna run over something, right? Or warn other people that you're coming. Alright, time to go to the roof. Our little train is electric. It's got the little hook at the top, you know, that connects to the wires, that kind of thing. So we're just going to start layering up the roof area here. Now these little pieces are just to basically give the form and shape for the piece that goes over the top of it. Alright, now we're going to put the little roof on there. It's this green piece. And it has dotted line. Don't tear them apart. That's just your bendy spots. And you're going to set it down kind of like so. And this is where this glue can be annoying. It doesn't dry fast, so you're going to end up holding it there for a while until it sticks. It wasn't too bad though. And then you're going to do the same thing to the front of it. Just kind of bend it. Don't tear it apart. Even if it did come apart on you, it's fine. You can just glue it. Glue all the little pieces on. You can make it work. There we go. After holding it for a long time, we got it. This should look a little like that. Now we gotta put this piece all the way around the edges. Now I put this around the edge, and then it seemed like it wasn't fitting how it looked in the picture. And while I was holding it, looking at the instruction books, for some reason, I missed a layer on the roof. Weird. But easy enough. We'll just take this off, take that off, and then add our layer that we wanted. Or should have had. It happens. As long as I found it out. If I didn't even discover it until later, because you can even see it in the upper right-hand corner there. There's a piece that should have been on the roof. I'm like, where did that go? That should have been my clue. Oh well. So we'll fix this and then realize, oh, it fits much better. Duh. Oh well. We're human. Continue on. Alright, now we gotta put all the important stuff on top here. We got some, it could be a luggage rack, I think, on top here, and then the little hook dealy bob, I'm very technical, that connects to the electrical wire. No, it's not a luggage rack. It's all the parts and pieces that make the train go. Important parts. And here and there, there'll be little cherry blossom flowers. And there's always a spot of where they want you to put it. Just to make it pretty. Now, I will say these two pieces that we're going to put in here, because this connects your train to the track, this fell out when I was trying to put everything together, and then I had to tip the kit over to attach something else. The train fell out all the time. So I will say, as a huge tip, glue these in, because it'll save you a lot of grief. Because once you put it all the buildings and things in together, this train is very difficult to get to. So when it falls out, like it will on me, you had to almost take it all apart and put it back in. So glue, 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 glue. So here's the tracks. The tracks are kind of fun to make, and they're pretty much how you think they would go. Let's put all the rails in. This piece kind of is a faux platform behind the train. You won't really see it, but it might be there to stabilize the train, possibly. It's kind of hidden, so it's hard to tell. Alright, time to put the train on the track, and this is where I would glue it. Right where the holes are, put a couple dabs of glue and then put your train in. Believe me, you'll thank me later. It feels like it fits tight, but this little guy on me always wanted to come out. Now we're going to start adding parts and pieces. It's going to start looking like something. Gotta have a train crossing. Got safety first. And then we'll put our tree. One of them anyway. This one's really tall. This is a big book nook. It's wide and tall. Especially after you do something like the unicorn one, which is very small. Easy, 6-hour project. This one took a little while. This little box here that you're going to stick underneath is going to be where the battery pack goes. So it is important. And just make sure your pieces are the right direction, even if you had to take an extra 3 seconds to look at the diagram, because all these little notches and things, they matter. And I have put them in backwards and upside down and all sorts, because sometimes they just fit together and it's like, oh, that must be how it goes. For this one, you do want to fill it with the batteries and things before you put it together, because it's kind of in there. It is accessible so that you can change the batteries, but the box itself, it's kind of wedged in there semi-permanently. But you can access it from the underneath. And there's little slots for the wires. They'll all start slowly making sense. Just put it the direction they say so that it all works out in the end. All right, we're moving on to the base here. It's getting exciting. And the base is kind of elevated because your battery's underneath. All the goodies are underneath. So you're going to have a few parts and pieces that you have no idea what they're for, like this one right here. But they're all to build up your foundation. They are important. Now we got to put in our river, a very pretty river with all the Sakura leaves, petals. Just glue it down pretty good. And to give it a little dimension, we have a couple layers. You're going to see the little squigglies on there. They line right up with that. Right there. Can't get it too wrong. Then you're going to put a couple of these little pegs here. This is going to hold up your sidewalk or your boardwalk, that kind of thing. It's not really a dock, I don't believe. Now you're going to add, in my opinion, one of the best parts is this ripply piece of plastic that'll make your water look like it's running. realistic. It's pretty cool. Just make sure you punch all the little holes out. And of course, we have to put pretty little flowers on there. The little X's there, that's right where you put them. Alright, now we got to start building the left and right walls. First thing, we're going to build a staircase with the little railing. And we did it so well the first time, let's do it again. So that our stairs go all the way up to the train station. We got our two rails with the steps. Now we got to put it in our base here. So the shorter one goes on the bottom and then it goes on up. It'll make sense. And they do all fit pretty well. I hardly glued anything except for where it said to, with the signs and things like that. These fit nice and tight. When I put the second piece in, I looked at it and was like, something's not right. Can you spot it? Yeah, I forgot that piece. Or two little pieces. So let's put those in now. At least we caught it now. And now we can connect the two pieces with a little flower right there. Does double duty. Look pretty and keep these railings stable. Very clever. A lot of times with this one, you're building parts so you have no idea where they're going to go unless you sneak peek ahead. So this piece, it's kind of a, oh gosh, it's an archway that goes over the river and it connects the two sides. So it's going to be a little archway plus a little bit of a stairway. Maybe a little dock. I guess there is a little dock there. Yeah, there definitely is a little dock here. Just kind of a lookout so you can look upon the river. Alright, before we get too far, they want us to put our wiring in a little bit. So there's nice holes. It's very nice, neat, and tidy. I like this one as far as the wiring's concerned. There's a place for everything. And I believe this, yeah, this is for the touchpad. So you're just going to put the wire straight across there and then you're going to bracket it in. You could glue it if you prefer. It should look a little like that. And now let's put our side pieces in. These pieces are going to be what holds the train rail up. So basically, what we're building is a bridge for the train. It's hard to see until you get closer and closer to putting it all together. Then you're like, oh, that's what that's for. And I do remember this being very tight and tricky to put in. So just take your time. They do give you spare parts on some of these little teeny, like on the dock. Some of the, if you're a little too rough with your pliers like me, sometimes they'll break. But they tell you there's spare parts, so don't worry. There we go. Got the base pretty much done, except for the train in the back. I think that's where we'll leave it today. Who is the man in the train? Who sent me this note? You'll have to tune in next week when we find out all the rest. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!